We are calling this meeting to order. We have one item on the agenda for tonight. It's an item for individual consideration. We are going to consider an action to approve resolution number R2018-60 of the City Council of the City of Bastrop, Texas, to place a proposal to adopt a tax rate for fiscal year 2018-2019 on the agenda of a future meeting as an action item, scheduling 2 public hearings on the proposal and providing an effective date. Ms. Waldron, is it you, or I didn't know if you or the city manager was going to. Okay, it's all you.
Okay, so we have received our certified appraised roll for 2018, and we have calculated our effective rate and our rollback rate. As you can see in your staff report, the calculated effective rate is 0.5534, and the calculated rollback rate is 0.589. We are proposing to keep the tax rate the same as last year at 0.564. The tax code requires that we hold these public hearings and that y'all approve this motion today if our recommended rate is higher than the effective rate, and it is. And so that's why we are here. If you have any questions for me.
So you gave a very good detailed package, and we appreciate the information you provided in the staff report. Just for clarity for the public, this is required if we're doing something that's larger than either the effective rate or the rollback rate, whichever one is lower.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And so for us, we are nowhere near our rollback rate, so we are having this meeting because of the effective rate.
Correct.
Council, did you have an opportunity to read the staff report, and do we think it is a good idea for Ms. Waldron to give a brief description of what an effective rate and rollback rate is for the public?
Yes, please. Absolutely.
We would like effective and rollback rate 101 for the public and for us, if you don't mind.
So the effective rate is basically if we were to have the same valuations from one year to the next. By the effective rate, can you explain the rollback rate a little bit better?
It's the 8% higher.
Okay, right. From the effective rate.
So when we look at the effective rate, there's an amount of properties that we had that contributed to the tax rate in the prior budget year.
The same properties from one year to the next.
And so when we're looking at it this year, we don't look at new properties. So we're looking at an apple to an apple, how much those apples were valued before, how much those apples are valued this year, and if that valuation is higher, then the effective rate is lower, so that when you multiply those two numbers together, you would get the exact same number. So if the property for some reason went down, then your effective rate would have to be higher than your previous year, because it's all about math, and you're multiplying two numbers together, so if one of them's lower, the other one has to be higher. And then the rollback rate, as I understand it, is based on what the rate was of the apples of last year. You add 8% to that, and basically you can't go higher than that without the public agreeing that there's a reason that you would want to go higher than that.
Right.
Well, you'd have to have a public meeting, but if you go higher than your rollback rate, it is subject to a referendum election that can be filed by the petition of the citizens, and they can force you to roll back your rate, hence why it's called a rollback.
Roll back to the no more than 8%. So like if we said we were going to go to 10%, they can say, oh, nay, we're going to sign a petition and you can only go to 8%. We aren't anywhere near that 8% at all. So, and we see that the difference is barely over a penny, right? Because it's the difference between 0.5640 and 0.5534. So it's the same rate, but we realize not all properties, but across the board, the same properties that paid taxes last year, they're worth a little bit more this year. So based on those exact same properties, the city at this rate will collect a little bit more money.
Correct.
Councilmember Ennis?
I remember that last year when we set it at 564, that it had been at that level for several years. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Okay, Council, do you have any other questions for Ms. Waldron? So the resolution that's before you that was in the packet is wanting us to set the tax rate at .5640, and it is, the main part of the resolution is setting the 2 public hearings, and but all of that is based on a tax rate of .5640.
Correct.
Mayor, can you list those dates again for those hearings?
So, I don't know if they're in here.
August 28th and September 11th.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it won't be at the next meeting, because at the August 14th meeting, we'll have the budget presentation that we got last year. So that's what staff has been working on, and they will present that entire budget to council on the 14th. And then when the public and council has an opportunity to review all of that information, then on August 28th, we'll have our first public hearing, and then the first meeting in September is September 11th, and that will be the second public hearing. Does that make sense to everybody?
And then you will consider adopting the tax rate and the budget on the night of the 25th of September.
The second normal standard meeting of September. And that magically has us start a fiscal year October 1st with an approved budget. We're really walking back from October 1st. Okay? Everybody clear? Ms. Waldron, do you need anything else from us?
Just a motion.
Okay. I am happy to entertain a motion for Resolution 2018-60.
Move for approval on resolution number R 2018-60.
Second.
I have a motion to approve the resolution from Councilmember Peterson. I have a second from Councilmember Ennis. Is there any further discussion, Council? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, if you'll call the roll.
Councilmember Peterson?
Yes.
Councilmember Ennis?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Rogers?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Thank you, Council. The motion passes unanimously. Resolution number R2018-60 is approved. I'm now on item number 3, which is adjournment.
Move for adjournment.
I have a motion from Councilmember Peterson
I'd like to second that, please.
and a second from Councilmember Jones. It is 6:37 and we are adjourned. Thank you very much.